Guys, today I'll be explaining to you like what's the difference between dissociation and maladaptive daydreaming. So dissociation is this aspect of your mind disconnecting you from reality to protect you from pain. So your mind normally disconnects you from reality, especially when you are involved in a traumatic instance. Let's say when you are involved in a traumatic instance, it's an instance where the mind feels that you don't have the necessary inner resources to process the emotions or to feel those emotions. So when those emotions are so overwhelming, what the mind does to protect you from reality is it disconnects you from it. Let's say you were in an abusive environment or you saw something which was horrifying. So the mind may choose to disconnect you to protect you. But now what happens is it becomes a norm to the mind. Like anytime you experience a small emotional reaction, the mind disconnects you. So you live in this state where you lost touch with reality. Like you feel like you're a zombie, or you get to the point where feel like you are emotionless. Like you can't feel things. You can't feel good emotions, and you can also feel negative emotions. Like you can't find joy in even doing the things you used to enjoy, or the pleasurable things of life. Like let's say playing a game, you don't really enjoy it anymore like you used to, just because the mind has disconnected you completely from your emotions. That is what dissociation is. It is your mind's attempt to protect you from feeling your emotions, because that it did that in the past to keep you safe. So even if you are away from that traumatic environment, it would still do that, because something about the mind is it doesn't interpret things the way you see. It just interprets things from what happened to it in the past. So it just develops this pathway. But now, maladaptive daydreaming is where you use daydreaming as a coping mechanism to your emotions and to your anxieties and your stresses in the present moment. So it's this aspect of like you feel that you cannot manage these emotions. You feel that these emotions are overwhelming. You feel that these things are so daunting or they are so stressful. And instead of facing them, you daydream. You go to an imaginary world. You create an imaginary world. Yeah. And a coping mechanism is something which you are used to provide you with a temporary relief from feeling the emotions. So that's maladaptive daydreaming. It's a coping mechanism. But here's the thing, a very, very interesting thing. All these things are related. This is because all these things are stemming from underlying issues. Like if you deal with the underlying issues, then it's like telling the mind that, hey, I'm now safe and I can now process my emotions. And I am also safe to process those emotions I've locked inside me. So once you process those emotions, what will happen? You will connect with yourself, because the thing which is preventing you from connecting with yourself, or from feeling that your emotions are valid, or from feeling that you are self-reliant, or you're having this level of emotional mastery, is the past. But once you process the past, you deal with those traumas, those underlying issues, those negative beliefs, all those root causes, it will get to the point where you understand that actually you can face life, you can face the pain, and you can also heal the pain, and you can let go of the past. Once you let go of the past, it will mean that you will not need a coping mechanism. You will not need a coping mechanism to keep you from the anxieties and the stress of life. You'll just be facing them as they go. You will not need to dissociate, because the mind will be like, now this person has found a way to deal with their emotions. They are fully reliant, and they can now live in reality. They are safe within themselves. So all these two things, they are related in a way, because they are all stemming from underlying issues. That's why when you really work on underlying issues, you are dealing with a lot of things in your life at the same time, which means it's a very, very beautiful thing, which means that it's not about dealing with daydreaming fast and looking for strategy, then looking for a strategy for dissociation. No, it's about going to the underlying issues. And the process is not that hard as you think. It's not something to think about. It's very, very easy, as long as you understand that all these things, maladaptive daydreaming, dissociation, are just visible manifestations of deeper issues. So when you deal with the deeper issues now, you live a normal life. Hope that makes sense, guys. Feel free to ask me any questions. Until next time, have a nice day.